All right, so hello everyone. It's your girl Carlika Katrina Basnight-Menendez. Yes, all of that, and we have an amazing guest for our Menopause March Madness. And if you've been enjoying this series thus far, you know what? Go ahead, like, comment, share it with someone else. And we're not just talking about menopausal symptoms, right? We are talking about various perspectives of menopause. Because let me just give you a little insight. Even for me, menopause is not solely about the symptoms. Menopause is mental, but menopause is spiritual too. And so you have this spiritual awakening, you have this spiritual journey that you're on, because not only physically is your life changing, mentally you're changing, psychologically you're changing, emotionally you're changing. And though I cannot birth children any longer, I am still birthing. Why? Because we are breaking barriers, we're receiving breakthroughs, we're birthing dreams, and we're building bridges. And that's what this is all about. So we pray as you listen to this series that something that one of our guests say, it will resonate with you to take action with your health, with your faith, with your family, in your business, in your money, with your honey, whatever that looks like. This is what this is all about. And so our guest today, six-time best-selling author. She's she's a confidence coach. She's an image consultant. I mean, y'all check out the blazer. Okay, I'll give the details later. Okay, because your girl love a good blazer. But she wants to boost confidence, right? And it takes confidence to walk through your journey. It took confidence, and it's still taking confidence for me to walk through my journey. And a lot of times women are suffering in silence, or don't even want to have the open conversations about menopause or their experience or their journey. And we want to remain silent, but we are taking menopause to another level, and we're rebranding the face of it culturally, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And so, Ingrid, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kalika. Thank you for having me. Such a pleasure to be here. So excited to be here and to share with the ladies, with everyone, the audience. So good to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. And so, Ingrid, just tell everyone, well, you all know her name is Ingrid, but let everyone know where you're from and, what you do. Let us just know a little bit about you.
Well, I live in Florida. I live in Orlando, Florida. I am originally from Haiti. This year will be about, I think, 30 years, actually, 30 years since I've been in this country here. Yeah, so I've lived here longer than I've lived in my country. And yes, I am a best-selling author. I love to teach women to be confident, to pay attention to your style, to know your style, to make sure that you put your best foot forward even where you're going, and to know that every day is a job interview.
Oh, that's
You
good.
dress for where you're going, you don't dress for where you are. So you always remember that, to take that pride, to always keep your head up and take pride in how you dress. It doesn't have to be anything expensive, but it's how you do it and how you
Oh,
put it together. And confidence is key. When you wear it with confidence, it doesn't matter what it is. But there's that key of confidence that make you walk different, that make you walk taller, that make you walk in purpose, right? With purpose. So that's what I do. I also have a nonprofit helping children and families back home in Haiti, with yes, with items that we take for granted here, basic life necessities,
right.
that we take for granted, that others are going without every day. So that's what I do as well, and I'm a woman of faith.
I love
Um,
it. So, you all,
I know the power of God, the power of the Holy Spirit, and
absolutely.
I am also a cancer survivor for 3 years now, 3 years post chemo.
Wow.
Praise God.
Oh my gosh, you all, that is amazing, Ingrid. So many blessings upon all of your endeavors. And you all, she said the confidence is key, right? It doesn't matter what you have on. So I don't care if you got on Louis or you got on Walmart. If you don't have confidence and you're broken inside, all of those expensive clothing, they're not going to make who you are. And so she said the confidence is key to have you walking taller and walk with your head up. And so, Ingrid, a lot of times what we do notice, and I've had a lot of conversations with women in menopause and beyond, but a lot of women lose their confidence, right? Due to menopausal symptoms, due to not feeling worthy, due to saying, you know what, who am I now with the career? Who am I now if I'm an empty nester now? Who am I now if I went from married to being divorced? Who am I now that, you know what, our kids don't even live in the house anymore? So who am I? What do I do? So I 100% agree with you that it's confidence that's going to cause you to walk tall, that's going to cause you to walk boldly and courageously. Something else you said was every day is an interview.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Y'all, that is powerful because it's going to cause us to show up a certain way. And so I was having a conversation in one of our communities, women who pray, and we were talking about consistency, right? And since you're a woman of faith, we can go here.
Yeah.
But it was saying, I went from the scripture of Hebrews 13 and 8, stating that, you know what, he's the same today, yesterday, and forever. Y'all, if we ever get that type of consistency to be the same, and I'm not talking about with us evolving and changing and being better, but to be the same yesterday, today, and forever, I was like, man, that is some consistency right there. And that does take confidence to remain who you are, to be authentic to who you are, even when life situations happen. So you all heard Ingrid is going to be celebrating 3 years, you all. 3 years of being a cancer thriver. And so, Ingrid, take us through that journey just a little bit to give us some insight of 3 years ago. How did life change for you?
Well, it was the end of 2020. So you know what 2020 was for all of us and how it shifted the world as we know it, right? And so I went to the doctor for a second opinion. And again, first thing I'm gonna tell you, be your best health advocate. Let's start there. So when I continue, you remember I said that. I went to my doctor and I asked my gynecologist for ultrasound. She said, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fine. I just feel like I need to have to check up." They found a cyst, sent me to a specialist. I went to a first one. I was like, talking about surgery. I said, nah, let me go pray about this. Then I went to a second specialist. And I was at the doctor's office and I got sick. And literally I got sick, got wheeled to the ER, which was next door to the doctor's office. That's God being strategic and being faithful. Wheeled to the ER and to find out that I had internal bleeding. So I literally almost died because I was going to leave the doctor. I was done. I was about to leave. But they called me back in to schedule my next appointment. And I felt sick. I just started screaming. So that's already tell you how God has placed me at the right place, the right time, because he knew had I been in my car, I would have septic shock and I probably would have killed myself or someone else driving. It was that bad. And they wheeled me to the ER, and yes, they found internal bleeding, emergency surgery right then and there. And I come out of surgery. That's when I'm finding out they found cancer and they removed it. I didn't know I was living with cancer. And yeah. And then because of that, the internal bleeding, it was instant hysterectomy.
Wow.
So, yeah. So everything happened at the same time. So I went through menopause, chemo, cancer, chemo, and recovering from surgery all at the same time. And then in the middle of COVID, it
Wow.
all happened at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you all, let's just unpack that a little bit because I
That
don't
was
want
heavy.
y'all
Yeah.
to miss this. One key thing, because look, y'all, I'm over here writing, okay? God is very strategic. And I love that you said that because had she not even been her own health advocate, and I don't know about anyone else. Have you ever went to the doctor and they're like, oh, well, just do this. And some of them are a little pushy and a little adamant that no, you need to do this. And look, hold on, sir. Hold on,
Yes.
ma'am.
Ask your questions. Ask questions.
That's good. That's very good because a lot of times we go in, no questions. We just accept whatever they're telling us. No questions, no research, no second opinions.
Nope.
So she said, be your first, be your health advocate. And I'm all for that because even if you need to fire your doctor because they're not listening, you're not getting the service that you need, you have to keep, I went through that, right? And it's not just people who are on food stamps and on Medicaid and different things. A working professional going in and I was told that I'm a drug seeker with the bottle full, okay? So these health disparities, they are real.
They
But if
are.
you don't advocate for yourself because they're the expert, but number one, God is the expert of your body because he created you. Two, he created us with a brain to use for wisdom. So
Yes.
now we have to pay attention to our bodies and just think if Ingrid did not pay attention to her own body,
Yeah.
because most times as women we go to the gynecologist once a year, right? So if they see you again, right after you, what are you okay? Look, I just want to be checked,
Yeah.
right? So being your best advocate, and then getting a second opinion. Don't be afraid to get a second opinion. Like it is okay. So all in one day,
Yeah.
all in one day, she went to an appointment, getting ready to leave. Appointment is over. Like, I mean, you're not gonna sit here and like what we waiting on, right? But they call her back to schedule the next appointment, and she gets ill. So in that moment of you getting ill, what were you feeling?
I just felt a sharp pain. I couldn't sit, I couldn't walk, I couldn't stand. Any position I took, I was screaming even harder. They
Wow.
put me back in the room to lay down for a minute. I crawled up to that bed. I couldn't just sit. Everything was, I didn't know what was happening. They were asking me what's happening. And I'm thinking, I don't know what's happening.
Wow.
Because they said, but you were just here, you were just fine. You just told us nothing was wrong. You didn't feel any pain. I said, I have no idea, but something just changed. And I'm screaming, and they didn't know what to do with me. They
Wow.
were all running around, like, what do we do? They were just couldn't, and then at the end of and then the doctor said, no, we can't keep her. There's something going on. But the fact that I was already there,
Yes.
the
Like
doctor's
you
office
already
is
placed.
attached to a hospital.
You was already placed where you needed
Place.
to be. Y'all don't miss this because some of y'all just out of position. And we ain't gonna go there on y'all today, okay? But some of you all are out of position. But what if she would have been out of position? What if she would have been like, they called me back, but I can call and make this appointment over the phone? She could have got in her car, like she said, start driving. She wasn't gonna get far because the pain was like that,
Yes.
right? But she could have been in the car, lost control, got in an accident, hurt herself, harmed someone else, or worst case scenario, she could have made it all the way home, not knowing that there was an internal wound, there was an internal bleeding, because guess what? I can't see that internal bleeding. And so some of you all are bleeding internally, and it may not be because of a cyst, but it may be because of brokenness. It may be of a situation that happened in your life when you were 6, 7, 8 years old. But can we encourage you on today? Go get checked out. So ladies, and any gentleman that's listening, right? Go and get checked out. And then listen to that voice. Listen to that inner voice that's saying, you know what, something's not right. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise until you get checked out. So she was at the right place. And all to my church people, y'all say this all the time. I'm at the right place at the right time. Okay. But have you ever really analyzed that I'm really at the right place?
Yeah.
You all, she was in the building connected to the hospital. The people at the clinic or where she was, they didn't know what to do, but they could take her over, wheel her over right next door. They didn't have to call the ambulance. They didn't have to do those things. Let's get her over. And all in a moment, she woke up, had a hysterectomy. She was having an excruciating pain. First of all, she went in just getting checked out. From getting checked out to before leaving, she falls ill and she's screaming. From screaming and all of those things, she's getting wheeled over to the emergency room, not knowing what's going on. All of the things. To go to straight from there to emergency surgery.
Yeah. It was heavy. It was
Did she know that something was going on? She knew within herself because she knows her body. Something's not right and something's going on. But not pinpointing exactly what's going on. Okay, so you found a cyst. Okay. But now there had to be a leakage of the cyst, the internal bleeding, and the pain I'm sure that she was feeling was because it was getting ready to erupt. How do I know? I had a cyst after I had a hysterectomy done.
You see?
And I know that pain. It's sharp. I literally remember crawling from my living room floor to my bedroom.
Yes.
In pain, crying, to the point I felt like I couldn't even think straight. But I knew something wasn't right. I remember my husband going down 264 in Virginia at probably 100 miles per hour to get me to the ER. If that was not y'all, we didn't get stopped by the police. There was no traffic. When I say, because at 100 miles per hour, baby, he would have been arrested, okay? But that night, the police, you would have had to follow us all the way to Lee Memorial that night. And when we got there, they said, we're so glad that you were listening to your body. Because the cyst, the abscess, I had an abscess that was leaking, but it was getting ready to erupt. And it had already, because it was leaking, right? Infection was in my body. So if I did not listen to my body and just probably like, let me just take some pain medicine and lay down, I would have been in ICU. I might not be sitting here today. If Ingrid didn't listen to her body, she would not be sitting here today. So go in for this emergency surgery. You come out, you're recovering. They're explaining you all, she go into surgery, they remove cancer. She didn't even know. So you come out and they're telling you this is what it is and this is what we've done. What was your reactions to that?
Utter shock. And of course, I was already shocked from the day before and that morning going to surgery. So it was unbelief. It was just complete shock, really. It's just, what is going on? There has to be a mistake. What do you mean? Cancer? What? It's just couldn't even fathom, couldn't even gather myself to even say the word.
Wow.
Because I couldn't see, because that year, that 2020 has been one of the years that I've been the most focused on my health. So how is this that there's cancer there? So there was no way that I would even think that, because that early that year I was dealing with hyperthyroid, and I did a lot of research and I found a way to treat it naturally. So I had just completed, all my thyroid numbers went back to normal after 6 months. The month before, so my doctor was just telling me, Ingrid, I cannot take credit. I didn't give you any medication, but you did your own by on your own due diligence. You did your research, and not just I did my research, but I had the fortitude to apply what I found. And I took all these natural supplements where my thyroid level went back to normal. How is it the next month you're telling me that I had cancer? Where did that one come from?
Wow.
So that means that makes it even more shocking. And that's why I went and I asked my doctor to have the ultrasound, because I was already on that journey for my thyroid, which was a blessing in disguise. And I kept saying that while I was going through hyperthyroid, which they call Graves' disease. And I never uttered those words. I never really, because I said, first of all, I don't like that word. What's Graves' disease? I don't want it. I don't, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, so just to say that I kept saying, this is a blessing in disguise, because now I'm realizing I'm finding all these natural supplements and my body is feeling better. I look better. I was already losing hair. My eyes were already bulging. I was already so skinny. My hair was falling. So I had the symptoms of hyperthyroid very, very strong. And so I was so happy to find those supplements. So I was on a strict regimen. I was doing so well. So that's when I called the doctor, and because I was already on that journey, right. And I kept calling it a blessing in disguise. And I didn't know really what the blessing in disguise was really going to be, because I was getting my body ready for this bigger challenge and big obstacle. And so it's a lot to unpack, because it came from, it's just to see how God is so strategic with it. It wasn't just one thing. It wasn't just one moment. It was all of these circumstances that came together, leading me to that time.
Wow. So even before she even realized or knew, okay, I had cancer, her body was already preparing because of
hyperthyroid.
Something else, right?
Yeah, autoimmune disease. Yeah, I had hyperthyroidism.
Already literally building up for chemo treatment. And so how long were you in chemotherapy? Because I don't think a lot of times people realize, and if you don't know, there are 3 journeys to menopause, right? Perimenopause, not my story. Surgical menopause, my story. Surgical menopause and chemotherapy or medicinal. That's Ingrid's story of both, because she had chemotherapy. She had surgery that threw her into menopause, but then she had the chemotherapy. All of this is happening at the same time. It wasn't like 1 year here. And Ingrid, do you mind sharing how old you were then?
Well, before I tell you how old I was, that same time when I had the ultrasound done, interestingly enough, the doctor had just had me do some lab work, because I said, am I close to menopause? Because I was just wondering. And she said, actually, there's a lab you can do that. The blood work that you can do that can show you where you are. So I literally just had that done. And the doctor said, I don't care how old you are nowhere near. With your body, what I see from your blood work, you are nowhere near menopause. So it's oh God. Like, he made sure that he did that pre-work for me. That way I knew already there was a baseline. I knew already where I was. So anything that's coming after, I had this foundational information there.
Yes.
So I knew the doctor told me that.
Right.
And then so when they told me that I had the cyst burst, because that's what happened, the cyst burst, that's what gave me the internal bleeding. And they removed the cyst, they removed my ovaries because of it, they removed everything, and then they saw cancer. They removed all of that. So it's just like I find myself in this crossroad of dealing with three things at the same time, plus COVID. That was another one. But I was in my mid to late 40s when that happened. I was already in my 40s, but I was, I know I don't look like it, right?
Of course not.
Yeah, so I didn't, I did not, of course, I didn't know, of course,
Right.
what was gonna happen, but
I asked your age because a lot of times in the media, and we know the median age for menopause is 51, but
that's why.
I wasn't 51. I was 30 years old when I had a hysterectomy. And I asked your age because I really want people to understand that the same way cancer has no age, cancer does not discriminate at all. It's not concerned about our age, our culture, our economical status, where you work, your title. It doesn't care, right? It doesn't define like, oh, I think I want to target this audience or I want to target this person. And I feel it's the same way with menopause, right? We have a baseline, but that's not everyone's journey. So oftentimes when I say, oh yeah, menopause is excellent, oh, you're too young. And I'm like, yeah, but 30, y'all thought 30 was old? I've met women younger than me who's had early menopause or had a hysterectomy or it was medically, right? Or anything. And so that's why I asked that, to let people know you may not be 51. You may not even be close to it. And especially for women of color, we tend to start that journey even earlier, mid 30s, early 40s. But I love something that Ingrid is saying. You know what? I found some natural remedies. Because you all, let's just be real, the pharmaceutical company is there to make money. Okay? Let me get my little notebook. They like this. You get a prescription. And you get a prescription. And once you get that one prescription, then you got to get another prescription to help out with something else with that first one.
Yes, yeah. Side effect.
The side effects or whatever may happen, those side effects that you may have. And so when she said, do your research, that is vital. And so Ingrid, after chemo and that journey, almost 3 years this year, how has your perspective? Let me even ask this too. After your chemo and different things, did you have any particular menopausal symptoms? Because I know a lot of people always want to know, what symptoms are you having? What symptoms are you having? Some women ain't having none, y'all, but did you have any?
Oh, yes, I did. And I didn't have it after chemo, though. It was all happening at the same time. When I tell you, at the same doggone time, everything, if I can say that.
Yes, absolutely.
Because, and you know what? I don't think I even mentioned that when I went to the doctor, I didn't go back home until 10 days later. So when you leave your house, when the mama tell you when you leave your house, pray. I spent 10 days in the hospital. So that tells you that God had other plans for me. He knew that I was gonna, my purpose. I had to still be here and live out my purpose and share my testimony with others. But even with menopause, even if you were actually, like you said, you were younger or you were getting closer, I was getting close to it, but according to my labs and where my health was at that point, I was still not close.
Right.
Because some people, it doesn't have to happen that. It's just an average age.
Exactly.
Because I have my sisters who are older than me in mid-50s and not yet. So that means it all depends. And but yeah, so I was getting there, but I wasn't there yet. So I didn't even get to be perimenopause. Like I wasn't even there. I thought I was, but I wasn't. But so again, that's another, that tells you that that's each person has a different story and a different way that it happened for them.
Yep.
But when to tell you about my symptoms, all I know is I had to tell the oncologist. I said, I don't know what's happening. At night, here I am with the cover. Oh, it's hot. It's cold. I put the cover. Ah, it's hot. I take it off. And I went to the doctor and I was like, why am I like, what's going on? I really didn't even think about menopause. I had too many things going on at this before me. And that's why he said, oh no, you remember you had the hysterectomy? That's menopause. Because when I got out of the hysterectomy wasn't on my mind anymore at that point, because now I'm facing chemo.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was not thinking about this anymore. Not realizing, okay, hysterectomy means menopause. Did not even cross my mind. Because I go back to the doctor, even though they told me at the hospital, we removed everything. It was stage 1. We removed everything. You're fine. You'll be just fine. And but when I go back a couple of weeks later for follow-up, oh, actually, we need to have chemo. So that's another shock, because you just told me I didn't need to have chemo.
Right.
But now you're telling me I do need to have chemo. So my symptoms were in the middle of chemo. Wow. As I was losing my hair, I was bald. I was losing my hair, getting so thin, sick, always, nauseating, always vomiting, all this stuff, cannot eat. But I was always hot, cold, take it off, put it back. But by the grace of God, though, when I look back, I was just looking back at some videos. I journaled it. And I didn't really share it on social media. I only shared afterwards. Some people do it while they were going through it, but we all have our own
absolutely
journey and our ways to share, right? Yeah. But I remember, I did journal, and I did a lot of videos. I recorded myself a lot, and I did a lot of audios just so I can know where I was. Absolutely. And but I was looking back at pictures, and I realized how bad it was, because when I was in the middle of it, I didn't pause to think about it. That's only the grace of God. Because in the middle of chemo, I had a photo shoot with my bald head. Like talking about confidence.
I love it. But
that's how I went through a lot of the symptoms. And I think I'm still going through it. I thought it was gonna be done. I didn't know look, I didn't know it continues. I really thought I was done, because the doctor gave me medication, actually not all natural, that really, really helped. I think it was called estrogen. Mm-hmm. It really helped. So I thought I was done, but then a few months later, after chemo, I was like, wait a minute. I'm feeling a little
flushed. I'm feeling a little flushed.
Like I'm sweat. Like I have to have a little portable fan next. I said, oh, it's still happening.
On the other end of being postmenopausal, for some women, and I love what you said, everyone's journey is different. Menopause is not a one size fits all. I don't know how some women will get there. You may go through perimenopause. It may be due to surgery. It may be due to chemotherapy or anything. The thing is, we will all go through it. Whatever symptoms you have, I don't know what symptoms you're going to have, right? Because it can change. Like literally, it can change. I know women who are like, I'm menopausal and now I have body odor. I'm menopausal and they don't have any night sweats. They just stay cold all of the time. No hot flashes. I know some women, they're real achy, joint pain, tongue burning, all of the things, right? The list is extensive when it comes to the symptoms. But if we can just encourage more people on a mental note, because in the mental note, even with everything that Ingrid faced, right? Life changing in literally one day, like a one day turnaround type thing, right? It was chemo, surgery, all of the things. Then you're coming out like, huh? Oh no, you had cancer. What? Huh? Oh, you said I was fine, but oh, you still want me to go through chemotherapy? All of the things. She journaled it for her own personal, right? To be able to eventually share that, or she'll have a book out on it, or whatever that looks like for her. But she said, in the midst of it, she did not pause, right? In the midst of it, she was going through whatever she needed to do to handle, to fight this thing. And so today, your thing may be, you may be in the middle of the battle, you may be in the middle of a fight. Can we encourage you to keep fighting? She said, even with my bald head and everything, I wouldn't have had a photo shoot.
Yep.
Y'all, she said, she was saying, I have my time where I'm vomiting and I'm sick and I'm nauseated and all of the things. But when I had strength, even in the midst of that, I'm journaling, I'm doing videos, I'm doing audio, whatever it is I need to do. Because even while you're in the fight, even the Bible says it's good that we were afflicted. I don't know how I'm going to be afflicted, but what we do know is that God will never leave us nor forsake us.
No way.
He has the final say so. And this is why Ingrid is sitting here today, sharing her story with confidence, sharing her story in the midst of it, having a photo shoot, okay, to say, you know what, I'm still confident. I'm still regaining my strength, my joy, and all of the things back. And so I often say, Ingrid, we can pause, but we cannot quit.
No way.
You all, we can pause, but we cannot quit. And menopause is not a death sentence. Menopause is a transition, right? And if we think back over life's transitions, such as Ingrid's story, right? When you think of your own life and you think of your transitions, you made it. We made it. And so if you can take away some things on today with this amazing journey, a journey of life, a journey of doing your research, a journey of being consistent, a journey of being disciplined, a journey of, you know what, I'm not going to lay down and just, say my life is over. I'm going to get up, I'm gonna get out here and have a photo shoot. Okay. So next time you're feeling down, look, go ahead and book yourself a photo shoot, girl. Okay. So she's saying this is a story of strength. Even when we having the hot flashes and we sweating right on the top of our lip and all of that. But I tell y'all, you just got to pat it, keep you a fan, keep you some water.
Keep it moving.
You're going to be all right.
Because this too shall pass. This too shall pass. If I wasn't able to walk, I'm back wearing my heels. I couldn't walk. I couldn't bathe my own self. Somebody had to do it for me. I couldn't bend. I literally was walking like this after surgery because it was a huge incision. Because when they saw cancer, they even went deeper. So I came out like with a huge incision, and I really couldn't do anything by myself at all. So that's just wanted to encourage you that when you said this too shall pass, when you really lean on God's unchanging hands, He really can make a difference in your life if you let Him. And He is ready and willing and able to do exceedingly abundantly and above all you can ask or think. It's in the Bible. It's a verse we all know. We say it. But when you get to walk it and see it for yourself, it's so true. It's real. And I don't know if we're probably going to be wrapping up soon, but just wanted to share a word of encouragement, if I may.
Absolutely.
And to tell you that keep your resilience through it all.
Oh, that's good.
This is what I remember telling myself. And I kept repeating that through chemo. I said, this is not my future. This is a moment in time.
That's good.
I am not staying here, God. And I repeated that. This is not my future. This is not my future. I repeated that daily.
Wow.
And I repeated that to myself. And I didn't just repeat it, but I believed it.
Yes.
I held on to that thing. When I tell you that the Holy Spirit can just give you a word, that was my word. I held on to it. This is not my future. This is a moment in time. This is a moment in time. And then to see how God gave me 2 words that year. At that time, I was in 2021 when I was going to chemo. And it was, I think I did about 5 months of chemo. And in the middle of chemo, God gave me those 2 words for the year. It was upward and onward.
Oh, that's good.
And it says upward with faith and onward with hope. So those were the words that God gave me for my journey. And I didn't call it, and oof. When I said journey, I never called it my cancer journey. I'm saying this for context, but I never repeated that myself on my life. Because I'm not claiming anything. This is not what I'm claiming for my life. I'm not owning this. This is not mine. This is a diagnosis.
Absolutely.
This is not mine. I cringe when I see others put mine, but everybody's, we're not the same. Nothing wrong with that. It's just personal. That worked for me. I said healing journey. My healing journey. Because, we know Proverbs tells us life and death is in the power of our tongue. I'm not claiming cancer. I barely say cancer in my whole life, in my whole time that I've had to go through chemo. That's not a word that I repeat with. I might say chemo more than I say cancer, because this, again, that was my past. This is not my future.
Yes.
So you gotta activate your faith and stand on your faith. Stand on the word of God. What He says about you, stand on there.
Absolutely.
And do not be moved. Even if it looks bad, do not move, because God is faithful. He's faithful to see you through. If I can encourage you
Absolutely.
to hold on to God's unchanging hands and have faith. Have faith. And it might look crazy to you, but have faith and hold on. Hold on. In the middle of chemo, my hair started growing back. I think I still had 3 or 4 sessions to go through, but my hair started growing back. And I have those videos and pictures. And I heard in my spirit, God said, that's the hope I want to leave for you. This is hope, to tell you that there's life after this.
Yes.
There's life after chemo. If you're going through whatever you're going through, there's life after it. Don't sit there. Don't stay in it. This is just a page. Turn the page. God is going to help you turn the page. It's just one moment in your life. Don't park there. Don't just, thinking, okay, you're paying rent there. This is where you live now. No. Don't park there. This is a moment in time.
Oh my God.
And He will see you through. He loves you that much. You going through anything you're going through is just for a testimony for His glory.
You all,
Good God.
this, Ingrid, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Because a lot of times people feel as though, oh, I'm going through menopause and my life is over. I'm going through menopause and I really don't know who I am. I'm going through menopause and the symptoms are like getting ready to take me out. And so when you all listen to this, your story, you may be saying, you know what, I'm not a menopausal woman. And that's okay. Menopause, though it is a journey, but every aspect of our life is a journey.
Yeah.
And we have to pivot, we have to transition. And I love what Ingrid said, repeat it and believe it. Because a lot of times we're repeating things, but because you don't believe,
You gotta believe it.
ye of little faith. So in this time, surround yourself with some faith builders, surround yourself with some faith giants that's going to say, nope, you not on my watch. Not on my watch. You may be vomiting, but not on my watch. You may be going through chemo, but not on my watch. This is not your future. This is not your portion. There's so much more for you to be doing and birthing, even in whatever your transition may be. And so, Ingrid, before we leave, You all, I hope you all got that whole word about moving upward in your faith and onward in hope. And I know someone listening now, you're probably thinking your hope is lost. You might be thinking that your life is over. Be encouraged that you can pause, but you cannot quit. You can pause, but you ain't parking there forever. You got to keep moving. And so, Ingrid, let everyone know how they can connect with you. You all are looking for an image consultant because that is one of those areas that women are like, hey, I gained some weight, or I lost some weight, or I don't know how to dress, or I need to change my style up, or I'm trying to get my sexy back, and all of these different things, right? Ingrid is an image consultant and a confidence coach, and she's like, I don't care if we go to the thrift store, we go to Neiman's Market. Guess
Okay.
confidence, baby, you can put on your heels or your sneakers and you are still going to be amazing from the inside out. So share the best way people can get in contact with you and connect.
Well, thank you. The best way to get in contact with me, I'm on all social media. I'm on Facebook, Ingrid Lamour-Thomas, on IG and TikTok is Ingrid Motivates with an S. Ingrid Motivates. Also, you can go on my website, ingridlamourthomas.com. There you can actually sign up. I have a free download for you. 10 items you must have in your closet for all year long. 10 must have in your closet. Download it, and you can book a free consultation with me. Go on my website, it's all there, and I have merchandise. Everything is on the website. Thank you for having me. Thank you for your support. Just know that God is there with you through it all. He's strategic. He is gonna place you at the right place, the right time, around the right people to help you. Because ovarian cancer is called the silent killer. By the time they find ovarian cancer, it's already, when you have symptoms, it's already stage 4. This was found in stage 1. So I'm going to leave you with that to realize how strategic and how faithful God is, that He didn't let this thing go inside of me. He made it appear that the thing, the cyst burst, but that was God making sure that He showed His faithfulness, because He knew that I was going to, shout on the rooftop for Him. He
Absolutely.
said, look what the Lord has done. So be
Absolutely.
encouraged, be blessed. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ingrid. So you all make sure that you all connect with her and grab that freebie, because you probably need to clean your closet out, get that clutter out, redo some things, and get some staple pieces that you can just mix match with a whole bunch of different things. And so, Ingrid, once again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your journey. Thank you for sharing your story. And ladies, make sure that you're doing your research, getting the test, listening to your body, learning your body, and don't ignore any of the signs, and don't let any medical professional or anyone ignore you either. Speak up and advocate for yourself, but most importantly, make sure that you show up for your health. Why? Because your health is your wealth. Till the next time, I'm Carlika Katrina Basnight-Menendez. Yes, all of that. And this has been another episode of Menopause March Madness. Remember, you can pause, but you cannot quit. You all be blessed.